And we're live.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 299 of Fans Power. We are almost at 300 episodes. I'm joined with Modulok, Joe Amato, Nasty Nate Nathan Kennedy, and Tyler, He-Man Baker, and I am Newt. Also, Rebecca Cox. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 299 of Fans Power. We are almost at 300 episodes. I knew it pissed you off.
Thought you were gonna change it up.
She does it because she's just saying the truth here, guys. Like, she's
What
giving
other
two shits about
podcast?
your all's feelings.
What other podcast has a dude that looks like He-Man on it?
And
What other
podcast
Masters
that
of the
looks like
Universe
She-Ra on here? Look,
podcast?
we've literally got the Twins of Power on the podcast. You don't have to pay us. We're just here. You know, you're not going to
So
get
what
this
are me
kind
and
of
Nathan
quality
on this show? You guys are
any
the
other
twins.
podcast.
You
Yeah,
the
we're
twins.
twins. He's my lost twin brother.
Ugh.
Orko, what the fuck? This is terrible. That's it. I'm just gonna ignore everybody.
You
Just
wear the
introduce.
scarf, but we can't see your face. What other character would you expect to ever be?
Modulok, I wear the mask. For fuck's sake, I wear Modulok's mask. You can say Modulok. Give a
No,
decent
you're wearing
little bit of
a scarf,
respect.
No one knows what you look like. I'm sorry, Orko only. Plus, you customize. You know, your customs fail all the time. Like Orko's magic. You know, it's a
This is horseshit. Holy hell, my God. Well, I'm gonna acknowledge the chat and I'm gonna get around this crap. Let's say hello to MC.
Your legions of followers who don't watch the podcast will hear my name and come after me on social media in some form or another.
That's it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell everybody on my fucking.
I know you're going there like
What I
all
do
the
in
moms,
all
set my
ages.
heart on fire. They all
This is horseshit.
I don't know who
MC
you is,
When did I
DJ.
he's a
start?
really mean guy.
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. Brendan Haley, Mobile Recluse, Ryan Brummagem, Daniel Carhoonan,
We were
Fedmon,
live.
Papa Hood
Just
69,
keep
Peanut Butter and Jelly is here, Rebel Wookie, Anthony Albanese, Andy Yowzy, Jordell Fresh Breeze. I'm scrolling down. So now, okay, Zentron, Adam Gabbert, Carlos is here. And hopefully he can find some of them WWE figures for you. For me, I appreciate it, Carlos. Casey Duncan. And I think I might... Oh, Eric Sanchez, Jeff Morris, and Gigi. I said that twice because it's Gigi. So thank you all for joining us.
The way you said, maybe thinking UHF with
You're like, wait,
and that's throwing dogs out the window.
and
Gigi.
Daniel Carhoonan.
No one got what I just said here.
No, I
Sorry,
got.
talking to myself.
I know. If I'm spacing out here at the beginning, I'm doing something different. Instead of importing these guys through Skype, I'm just doing a capture of the screen over here. So apologies too, because I have like complete audio input and audio output, and I wanted to unmute over here to see if it was sounding okay, and I was like, oh wait, shit, if that's coming through here, then that may like double echo over there for everybody else. So I didn't. Apologies on that. That's why I'm distracted right now. I'm just making sure this isn't catching on fire.
Oh, that's always the same with you, Nathan. I would never have known the difference. So, but hello to MOTU Matthew. Thank you for joining us. That wasn't rude, was it, Nathan? But hey, I am going to get a new mask.
Motu Matt.
MOTU Matthew. Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Motu
Did you hear what I
Matt.
just said? Piss off. So
Motu
I will have a new mask next week. I'm going to get some ink, and I'll
You
finally
said
get rid
that
of the
shit
butter
last
mask.
week.
But this time I'm telling the truth, and this one's going to be here for backup, just in case. So, all right.
Why not just
Well,
Call
hey,
them Joe Boogers.
why not just make 2 new masks so you have a new backup and you can finally get rid of that thing?
red ink. But it's a lot of red
No, I'm
ink.
saying when you
So
do, like just.
That mask is iconic now, though.
That's true.
Yeah, so I got to keep the
Maybe
butter
I
mask.
should add
for back.
Booger. Are you guys, anyone out there remember Booger Man that came out on Super Nintendo
Yes.
back in the day?
I've
It
never seen
just-
ads for it in comic books.
I should
never even
just
played
take
it, though.
Booger Man and add that to Joe's ever-growing box.
Soon Joe's box is going to be like that.
He won't
It's
even
gonna
be in
like
it
his
anymore.
face.
You're going to see part of this.
Then he won't have a reason to wear a mask at all.
That's
Like,
true.
he'll be completely covered. Yeah.
That's true.
Joe, it just works out good for everybody there.
My icons is the new mask. I could picture that shit. Well, let me see. I was going to say, before we get into the main topics, I mean, there'll be some rambling here and there. I had to give a tip about when you go to the movie theater, because I was mentioning this in another group. And well,
I mean, if you wear the
have
trench
money
coat,
to
then you
go
don't
to
have
the
to wear anything underneath, and then you can just.
Well, I
Play
gave
with
the
yourself
tips of
through
the
the
food and
internet.
how you put your food in your pockets, like your double cheeseburgers from McDonald's. I already said all that stuff, but I was like, some
God's
people
sake,
did ask,
man.
but it works. And some people said, but what do you do for drinks? Well, it works the best when it's around fall into winter because that's when I'm at jacket and I can put in styrofoam or paper cups into my jacket. And since all I drink, well, listen, hold on a second. Hold on, I'm not finished. Since all I drink is water, I take either a styrofoam or paper cups, depending on what I got at the Dollar Tree.
Then I get out of the toilet.
Yeah, you take the cup, you dip it into the toilet. If it looks a little yellow, don't worry about that.
Well, listen, this
It's
works.
flavor. It's the flavoring.
You're in a sterile. I'm sterile, whatever the fuck, you know.
But no, I'm saying, if you guys want to save and you don't, want the big fancy pop and all them other drinks that cost like $5, $6, $7 or whatever they cost, you get free water. But you take some ice from the freezer, crush it up, put it in a Ziploc bag, and put that in your other pocket. Then when you go into the movie theater, you go to the water fountain, you put the ice in the cup, then you put the water in there, and you have ice cold water instead of just lukewarm water from the water fountain. You got ice water, and it works great. So it's a tip. I'm
sure if they see Joe this guy who looks homeless going over the water with a styrofoam cup, just don't even bother.
Yeah.
So Joe is assuming that the rest of you out there who want to take his tips look like him out in public.
But
someone
it
that
will work.
The staff is not going to approach. Just leave him alone.
Listen,
Come
you
at
got
you with
big
all
pockets.
fists and elbows. If you distract
Or,
them.
I could be a dick and just call all the local parts unknown movie theaters and be like, hey, if you see this guy here, and I'll send him the photo, because Joe was like, you only do this when it's cold outside. Send him the picture, the hobo look where he's got his Bulls beanie on. And
you've seen this man, he's carrying McRibs and a milkshake in his pocket.
I had a McRib today. It was delicious.
All those things suck. But hey, and my sister,
I'm curious if Joe was if we were hypothetically, if Joe left his house to actually meet us or something, and you guys went to McDonald's and you had barbecue sauce in your face, do you think Joe would lean in to make sure he got that bit that you missed?
Probably.
So he could savor the barbecue.
Probably.
Even though
I don't think he would use. I wouldn't think that he would use his finger or anything, but I could definitely see him taking a McNugget and just wiping it on your face.
Smell my finger, Joe.
Sorry. What's this picture in wipe? Wait, you got something on your face, and as you're getting ready to wipe it, no.
Oh, no.
You're going to take the French fry nugget and wipe it.
Let me get that for you.
Just take the nugget, the fry, and dip it right off your face, and thanks. You look like, what the fuck? But my sister went the other day.
Me and Rebecca told us he's trying to seduce him. So.
So my sister went.
Joe gets his dates to come home with him. He takes condiments on their face and swipes it on ever so seductively. Some shitty Taylor Swift songs playing over the music,
and they think he's doing it in like a hot way, but no, it's just he doesn't want. Nothing goes to waste. No food goes to waste around Joe Amato.
I lick my plates. I literally do, and I'm not ashamed of that. But I make sure I get every bit.
He licks his mates. I mean, Joe can do it all.
Let him go. Well, Christ. So like I said, my
you lick
sister
the wrappers
went
too, don't you, Joe?
There's usually, do you mean for candy? Because the candy's always gone.
I'm saying you get a cheeseburger from McDonald's, right? And some of the ketchup or whatever falls on there. You lick that off the wrapper, right?
Well, that I can just sop it up with the actual burger itself. But if I had to, I would do it.
Do you take the ketchup wrapper and clean it out?
See, now you said, Rebecca, how you said that, you must do that too. Everybody does that. Oh, well, never mind. I guess not.
No, she's probably just seen bums in her neighborhood do that.
So
I do this and clean it out, but I don't put it in my mouth.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, with ketchup, a little bit.
Joe.
The hot sauce, you definitely have to do that from Taco Bell. But my sister, like I said, she went to a steakhouse the other day with some other family members, and they were all eating their food. They had it pretty much done.
You got left out. You're like, where's my fucking invite?
Well, that's what it's going to lead to. Is she showed a picture of her steak?
Doggy bag, so he's going to get something.
Kind of literally, because as she was showing pictures and videos of her food while she was there,
spoons and forks and shit.
Well, she had a bone in her steak. It was it looked like a big T-bone steak, and I was like, Kelly, I was like, can you send me that bone? I said, at least bring it home to me. So she went down.
What are you, a dog?
She showed a video of my niece, who she said, Joey, I have to show you this. My niece eats just like me. She was eating her steak with her hands, and she was like, my God, Joe, she's just like you.
Passing down family traits.
That's right. So my sister, like I said, after she was done, before she went home, she dropped off that T-bone steak to me, the bone, and I took that with a little bit meat that was left over, and I fried it in some butter. It was delicious, but I was like, I'm kind of like the dog of the family, so she's bringing us to a dog to me. It was good though. You fry it in butter and you had a little bit of meat. I was able to chew that little bit of meat off. So it's the first steak I had in so long. So I actually had some steak.
And
There you go.
I love that Joe goes to like some fancy ass, steakhouse, and he requires the chef cook it in butter or something
Well,
like that. I wonder what's the biggest offense: asking for ketchup with your steak, or that you want it deep fried in butter.
I can't even remember the last time I did go to one of those. But when I do, I eat with my hands. I make sure to have butter and sour cream to dip the steak into, and just you pick it up, you eat it. It's the best way. You don't lose the juices. That's pretty much it.
We could go out to eat with Joe if all four of us like Matt. I'd be throwing up in a bucket or something like that watching Joe eat.
Well, I was just trying to discuss. It's a good way.
Just watching him eat.
It's a good way to enjoy shit.
Do you eat everything with your hands?
Well, I
Like,
do
even
use
messy
manners
stuff?
when it comes. Well, chili and cereal, you have to use a spoon.
Oh, I
or
thought
something.
I thought you were about to say yes.
I
I
guess
eat
he could
chili.
scoop it in with his hand there.
Well, hey, Thanksgiving, it's getting ready to come up. I'll at least mention what I do with Thanksgiving. I don't use fork or knives. What happens is when I have the turkey legs or any part of the turkey and the stuffing and the yams, everything that's
I know
there.
what you're about to say. I remember
Yep, I
this.
do. I take all the biscuits and I use them as like a utensil. And I just grab it like that and eat with the biscuit as a utensil. So I usually have about 10 to 12 biscuits.
Wow.
Jeez.
But it works. It's better, and you save on cleaning utensils. So
It doesn't take
Fuck,
that
man.
Or
long.
use plastic.
Yeah, just use plastic. Well, he's trying to be environmentally conscious, so.
Oh, that's how that's what he tells himself. And
You know
tells
what-
fellows who look at him funny.
You know what I just realized, and I'm not going to fix it now, I'll just fix it for next week, but my camera is actually mirrored. So, like, if you look at my shirt, it's backwards.
that's no big deal. But I
Yeah,
did
whatever.
just catch it by looking. I just looked. You're right.
Yeah,
Huh?
whatever.
Mine's mirrored too. Could you tell?
Actually, I think everybody's is. Oh, well. Hey.
Everyone looks normal to me. I don't see anything.
Well, yeah,
different.
I think it's just where it's on here, to me, everything is mirrored, and for the people at home. I'll fix that next time. Because that would show more shit. I don't need to worry about it. We'll just, we're ass backwards.
We're
on
in,
this
we're in
one
the
too.
Mirrorverse.
Yeah, we're in the Mirrorverse.
There you
We're
go.
in the
Except
multiverse,
Rebecca, she's
yeah.
Oh,
on the
God.
she's
Oh,
still-
yeah, the shitty multiverse. Thanks, Rob David.
Rebecca set up normal. It looks like she's normal. But well, now we're gonna get to our topic, and after
I mean,
Nathan,
do we have to jump in that quickly into that? You got any more dumb bullshit food things you want? Is there anything new going on? Like, there's not.
No,
oh,
I did see-
actually, programming
yeah.
note. Programming note, everybody. Tuesday. I don't know what time Joe and I have decided to do this. It'll probably be 8, 9 o'clock. But Tuesday. Mark your calendars, because Joe and I are gonna do a review for Part 2 of Master Universe Revelation.
It's already out.
It comes out on Tuesday.
yeah, the 20,
That's all
23rd,
you
right?
guys.
Or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured. So Joe
Well, there
and
was
I will
one
give our
thing-
thoughts on that.
Yeah, and I did see something, and it's because of through groups at Big Lots, people that like some of those flexing type figures. I know they showed previews them a while back. They have two of the flexors of Skeletor and He-Man. They're only $7. I was like, but of course this stuff never pops up around here. But everybody online is showing pictures of the flexors that they got. So if you guys have a Big Lots around you and you're into that stuff, and if you remember seeing pictures of He-Man and Skeletors, that they have them there, and they're only $7. And I think they're pretty tall. I don't know, maybe 6-7 inches or something.
Right.
So a novelty thing. Either way, if you like it, you can get it.
Did I?
But I don't think there was any other.
I don't think I
Wait,
added
oh, wait.
anything to the collection.
I don't know if it's on Mondo still, but at the drop they did that kind of trippy colored Man at Arms,
Eh.
and it was on there, and it was there for a while. For those who wanted them, it still was up there.
Oh,
So,
gee, I wonder
I think
why.
it's-
Because I don't think anybody fucking wants another Man at Arms.
People like the Merman trippy colors one, but
Yeah, but that's
people
Merman. That could kind of make
That kinda
sense, I
goes.
guess.
That kind of goes with his fishy.
Yeah, oil
want
spill
scaly
Merman.
look. Yeah, because some fish have that kind of multicolored. So, yeah, I wish it was
Like
the
a rainbow
regular
trout.
Man. Yeah. I was almost wishing it could have been that re-release of the other Man at Arms, because it would have been cool. But either way, if you guys are into all the trippy color
I'm
stuff,
sick and
into
tired
like
of everyone having a hard on for Man at Arms reissues. Jesus Christ, Scott and I looking his boner for Man at Arms. Gotta have him with the pony Joe. Gotta have him with this. Gotta have him with that. Gotta have Snake Man at Arms. Fuck you.
but beyond that, I don't think there was anything new. Can either of you or any of you? Thank you.
No, other than Part 2 Tuesday, and Daniel
Oh,
Carhoon, and
God.
yes, Joe and I will be live for that. And to all of you that checked out the wonderful, the beautiful intro that Rebecca did for us for our new show that we're going to do sporadically, where we talk about different things, whether that's movies, comics, TV shows, video games. Even Tyler suggested, he's like, yeah, there could be episodes where it's just random bullshit, where we just talk about life.
Yeah.
We just want to hang out and just chit chat, and maybe you might enjoy just a conversation, just hanging out with us. Literally, like there's no agenda. We're just bullshitting for an hour and a half.
But that show will not be live. So heads up on that. That won't be live. But I will premiere it. That way there will be a chat. You guys can hang out and still chat amongst yourselves. And depending on the day and time, I can pop in while I'm on break at work and chat with you a little bit. But I think that's all we got.
Which means don't leave a comment and expecting us to answer it during it.
Because we won't be there during
episode.
Yeah, we'll just only answer in the chat room. That's it. But you're right. I'm sure some people, when they see it premiere for the first time, might not catch that part.
Yeah, I can see how it'd be.
Answering
for some other stuff. Yeah,
well,
I mean, as if, like, so...
I get it because most of the time we're usually live, so that makes sense.
Yeah. But pretty much that is the only new stuff that I can think of, or something recent. But Nathan, now you can take over with putting everything on the screen, and it's going to be fun doing the tier on this.
Well, it's going to be hard to break any ties since we got 2 and 2 here.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, if I was on the last one, things would have been a little different.
We can defer to the chat room.
Yeah, Dragon Walker probably would have been higher up on the list if Rebecca was joining us.
See?
Hey, chat, I just want to let you know I predict a lot of 3-on-1 shit going on here, but we'll see, especially when it comes to one thing in particular. But, okay, well, Nathan, it looks like we have right here, we might as well go in order of how everything's set.
No, I don't want to. No, I'm not. No, fuck that. I don't know why you always want to go in order with everything. It's like,
no,
Joe thinks for a reason. How things are done in this podcast. Like, Joe's telling everyone, you got to open the podcast. Oh, we're going to do this. I'm going to jump in. Like, Joe runs nothing here. He doesn't own any of us.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Bunch of dickheads. But yeah, okay, Nathan. Then whatever you want.
Well, you want character or you want mini comic?
Am I allowed to say character?
Yes,
no, character.
yeah, you can say.
Character. You pick a character, and we'll rank that sucker.
Well, let's get the super easy. Let's get the easiest one out of the way first, and that.
I kind of feel like this one is going to be like not as.
Yeah, Joe.
Divisive.
No, Joe's like, it's going to be stratos, and I think the only reason he did that is because Stratos is in there. Ha ha ha.
No, I
saved Stratos for last.
Yeah.
I actually have reasons. Really, you'll be surprised. And like I said, I'm not going to sway nobody.
Like Wave 3 with Jitsu and Cobra Kai and Webster, like that's going to be like all over. This is like.
Oh yeah.
This is.
This was like everything's high up on my list in this one.
Yeah. So Joe says this. Joe is over. He's like a used car. So he's going to overhype it to death just to get it off the damn lot. You know, like all right.
Well, we got to start at the beginning. We got to start at the beginning. Then we'll go to the others eventually on other episodes.
Why not just throw out Beastman? Just start with Beastman.
All right. Let's start with Beastman. And remember, guys, the S tier at the top. This is like the upper echelon, cream of the crop, and then the following A, B, C, D would obviously be the worst of the bunch. So, all right,
for me,
Beastman.
We'll say Beastman was the first figure that I remember owning as a kid, and I remember how much he caught my eye. Just that vibrant color. It was different, especially looking at all of them right there. Or most almost Master Universe figures, especially at the beginning. Just that red and orange. Just what a combination. The hint of blue, but he looks so damn ferocious. Beast-like. Cool ass accessory with having that whip. For me, I definitely throw him at an S because I was like. That is perfection. As for a design, starting right off the bat, Beastman for me, I say S.
S. By all means, love the color scheme. It was definitely one of the most sought after figures I didn't have as a kid. Came close to Toys R Us one time. Got Jackalman instead. And I'm like, oh my god, what have I done? So I love the character. That it's just such a beautifully sculpted figure. It's as embedded as a root in this mythology and property as He-Man and Skeletor are. Like, you don't see Skeletor without Beastman, so he is important to Skeletor. So nobody would have a logical case to put him anything below than the top of the line. Period.
Yeah, the problem with this was like I was putting everybody in S.
Well, I guess
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be
It's-
doing too.
But-
So it's
But maybe once we get people in S, then we can kind of re-rank them within its own category.
So the mini comics I probably will put down a lot lower, because is that we're doing the first wave of mini comics and
Yeah.
the first wave of figures. Is that
Yep.
what we're doing?
Yep.
mhm.
I don't get that logic, Joe. You have to explain that one too. Why didn't we do just the figures or is it just because
well,
wanted
it's
to
just
put it
because
all together.
it's like wave 1, like all of it.
But like when we get
Yeah,
to
the
wave
reason I
two,
did
you
it-
got
Well, the reason I wanted to do it with this was I was like, well, I think it was going to go super quick with just those 8 characters. I was like, let's just put the mini comics in there because it's polarizing with them. And it doesn't mean we're still not going to in-depth talk about some of these in particular. We already have, but there's still ones I'd like to revisit just because, again, the logic of, well, I won't say it now until we get to that part, but I just wanted to lump them all in there.
People never read the fucking thing, so you just quit trying to dance around like you're trying to protect those assholes' feelings.
No, I mean, I'll say it when we get to that part when we do a comic here and I rank it and I'll say why. That's what I meant. But yeah, we'll definitely revisit some of these masterpieces. Jesus,
Nathan-
put them in S.
Nathan,
Yeah.
where did you put Beastman?
I would say S based off color scheme. The armor pieces that you kind of get with, I don't know, the figure itself just pops more compared to. I feel like it pops maybe the most out of everybody in the wave.
It does. I mean, to the eyes, the visuals.
Him next to Skeletor, though, I think is such a good contrast. Like they pop together, like the icon imagery of the purple and the blue and the red and orange with the hint of blue. Like that always stuck out to me as a kid. So I'd say
The visuals for me, Beastman and Tila as visuals as a kid stuck out the most, just from not only just their accessories, but just the colors. Sometimes when there's just a certain way of colors can just complement each other.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, so he's S. So
Let's.
Rebecca, who do you want?
I would say somebody. Let's go mini comic. Let's drop a mini comic in there. Let's start
All right,
talking.
which one
about
you want to
those.
drop?
Let's let Rebecca choose.
Oh boy. Well, let's go with the first one. Let's go with Him in the
power
and
sword.
the power of the sword. Yeah. So where would you guys rank this one?
Well, for me, this one is the only one I'm going to rank up higher than the others, and I'll get into the I'll get to the rationale later. I mean, yes, of course, all of these have beautiful art, but art does not always make a story. You have to get into the actual subject matter of what is going on in this. Even though there could be a couple panels like, what the hell happened? This one was more cohesive than all the others. I placed this one, for certain reasons, at A, just because out of all 4 of these, this one is the one that I think delivered the best. I'll explain when we get to the others why they really missed the mark. But I put that one at an A because it wasn't bad. It was not absolute dog shit, but it wasn't perfection.
I read all 4 of these back to back, and
Yeah.
like Joe said, some of the artwork is amazing to look at.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But goddamn, going through, I'm like, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah, and you're wondering what the hell is going on. That's why it's going to be good to revisit when we talk about these, because especially if they establish so much for He-Man and the Power Sword, and then when they get to King of Castle Grayskull, it's like, well, what the fuck are you saying now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Battle
wait,
in
you
the
just said
Clouds,
this.
just like,
Right, they go in these different directions. Like, are you trying to keep retelling these stories? Even though it's supposed to be, okay, we had this, now let's go. It's like, what the fuck are you saying? And then the design of the character here, then slightly here, and then their stance and their role in this. It's like, they didn't know what the hell was going on. I was just...
Yeah, they were just figuring things out. They had a time limit to write a story in a comic book for this thing. So
yeah, and it felt like they just kept
janky.
Yeah, it was janky because you figured they told the story in He-Man and the Power Sword. So when they came to King of Castle Grayskull, it's like, but you're telling it again and twisting and mixing stuff up. And then the others, like, my God, I mean, there's one in particular that I am putting D. There's almost a couple that made D, but yeah, for this one, He-Man and the Power Sword, I still say A. And what'd you say, Rebecca?
I said A as well because the artwork saves it. There's
Isn't that sad?
every comic book, every picture in that comic book is iconic. So I think it at least deserves an A.
And what'd you think Story-wise, though, because like I said, establishing the story like this one, they
Like I
at least
said,
seem
it's
like they tried.
janky. I never liked the idea of his power harness. You know, of him getting his power from his harness and then easily. Well, that's from a different comic, but him easily having it taken away from him and everything. And yeah, it just feels very janky and very rushed.
Yeah, I think you can maybe appreciate it in a way of them just trying to come up with something before everything was really set in stone just to get it out there. But once, like, looking back at it with everything else that you've gotten in the cartoon, to go back to these, it's jarring and it sticks out a lot.
I guess
it's like watching the first season of a lot of shows.
Yeah, it's like watching the pilot episode of something and knowing like the animation's not as good, or like if it's a live action thing, that it just seems off. And on its own.
That's the one thing I'd say about this one, at least with that one when they first were establishing. I was like, okay, you're telling us a story. We're following it. Okay, I get what you're saying. A couple panels, again, didn't match up with some of the things, that were going on. But I was like, okay, you told us the story. That alone, along with the art, I was like, okay, that's our introduction. I'll give you an A. But then when you hit the others, it's like, you're doing it different now already? And that's when it pisses you off and becomes convoluted and nonsense. It's like, what the hell is going on beyond the art? This is the only one in my opinion, deserves the A. I mean, others might disagree and even might be thinking this one is shit down lower too, but I still say A and Rebecca said A.
I'm going to put it at B. Because, I mean, with all of these, it's kind of tough. Like Newt said, the art kind of saves all of them, but story-wise, and I think just the way that it's laid out too, isn't... I don't know. It doesn't... As an adult, you can appreciate it a little bit with the way that it is, but I can't imagine being a kid and wanting to just sit there and read all of that on every page. It just doesn't... It doesn't work in that regard to me. So I'm going to give it a B, because that's just kind of like in the middle.
Okay. Tyler.
I hate the beginning of it because the whole Ular bullshit and Savage He-Man.
Yeah.
But I love the latter half of the story. Like, I love the images of He-Man building his own house. Man-at-Arms comes to him at night. I love that one panel of Skeletor with his map and Beastman falling behind him, going underneath the platform that Teela's laying down on, unconscious. Like, it just has this classic fantasy, creepy old castle look to it. Like, I wish I could get a print of that image of them going down into the depths of Grayskull. I absolutely love that. The story itself, they're just, I'm not going to say that they're not great, but because, like, with so much of this property, they're still filling things out. So I don't fault it based on that. It's more about people just are all about the artwork and just say these books to this day are so legendary. Like, they're not people. Just say you like the artwork. Don't sit there and say you like brutal, savage He-Man because you saw a drop of blood hanging and dripping from a monster's mouth. Like, fuck you. You just don't get it. So I wasn't actually going to give it an A because I love the latter half of the story, but it really doesn't deserve it. I remember when I got this at Happy's Flea Market. I had never seen this book before. It was before I had access to the internet. And to see He-Man as this jungle man leaving his tribe and his name is He-Man, I thought, what the hell is this shit? I had no idea that had happened in that mini comic. So I'm going to give it a C.
Ooh. It's all right. So we got 2 A's, a B, and a C.
Well, if that's school, then you have to average and throw it in a B then. You have to throw that there to the B.
Are we grading on a
That's
curve?
fair.
Yeah, grading on a curve. That's the average of them all. So throw that sucker in a B.
All right. Move that into B. Yeah, it's kind of weird moving that shit around like that. Let's go back to the figures. I mean, this one. Let's go with He-Man. I mean, S, right? That is
S.
I mean, I get an S. I get an S. Easy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that one I think is quick and without basically any explanation.
There is no discussion.
Yeah.
No, that one is a definite S.
And Skeletor, I would assume S.
S.
For everybody all around. Why does it want to keep grabbing that? There we go. Well, shit, man. Do you want
Sound
to?
like
do a mini comic?
Texas tornado there.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
let's do another character. Because there's
3 more books, and then we have
Yeah.
5 more characters. All right. What? Who would you like to do next? Well, obviously, we're gonna save the best character for last.
I would definitely give
Well,
Tila
we
an
know how
S.
it's gonna go.
Yeah. All right. So Tila. So you give Tila an S.
Tila, okay. Yeah, I get Tila an S.
Joe.
I give her an S. Because next to Beastman, like I said, of course, He-Man and Skeletor, just iconic. I mean, I don't know how you could rate them low. There's not really explanations needed. But when it comes to Teal, when it came to Beastman, I just wanted to give my logic and reasoning. But again, she's somebody, I mean, she's coming with, a lot of accessories. She has her Cobra armor. She has her staff. She has her shield. You could have like 2 figures, in one. If you bought 2 back then, you could display as both a goddess / sorceress or Tila. But
I never
she
saw her
was
as 2 different characters. I always just, this is Tila with her snake
too.
armor. This is
Yeah,
Tila
and you're
without-
right. But yeah, how they.
But yeah, I think
know
that's
about
what they were kind of planning, as much as they were planning. But
Yep, and she's one that I never displayed without her armor. As a kid, did I look with her armor off? Sure, I want to look. Oh, that looks cool, but I love the armor. I just
I
love
do
the
too.
Cobra armor. Yeah, and especially sometimes when that would appear in some stories, because it wasn't too often. But when you seen Tila with the Cobra armor, and it's a lot of different
and
stories.
I told my boyfriend this while I was debating this with him, and I was like, without the armor, she's a beautiful design, but there are other warrior women that look like that. That armor,
It stands
nobody
out.
else
It
looks
makes
like
her.
that.
Yeah,
Nobody
that's what I
else
mean.
has that.
Right, and I think
And
that's why.
before her, no other female action figure or doll looked like that.
It's true.
They never
and
made
that's
them
what's so damn
muscular.
cool.
She's a
Right,
trailblazer,
it just.
for sure.
Mhm.
But she does, and that's what really makes her stand out is that look and design. Like the same thing when you're talking about, okay, you were just mentioning that. When I see cosplayers of Tila, I don't think I've ever seen somebody do with the Cobra armor. I may be
I'm gonna
wrong.
do
Have
it.
you, Rebecca? Yeah, see? That'd be cool to see if you could do.
the Cobra armor.
That's what would be
on my bucket
awesome.
list.
Nobody's ever done it. But yeah, Tila, I think, is pretty much another no-brainer of an S. When it gets to these other ones, I'm going to be in a different spot when it comes to the others.
Well, I think if there was any kind of complaint that I would have with it is it's not because obviously they needed to shape the women differently than the male characters, but I feel like with the feet and trying to stand the figure up, it could prove difficult in certain scenarios. So I'm gonna put her an S, but me personally would bring it down to A just because of like the display,
tiny feet.
the display aspect of it.
Yeah, I could never really have her, when I was engaging with the other characters in battle as a kid, have her ever stand on the carpet. It was hard to get the guys to stand on the carpet, because that's where I usually did it, where they were slamming and falling, because I didn't want them on hardwood floors and banging and breaking.
And that's
So
when Joe
she
just
was-
takes the gum out of his mouth and embeds it in the carpet and wraps their feet into it.
And after I'm done, I take it out of the carpet with all
Yeah,
the hair.
and then you
she was like,
go
"I
back to
taste
chew it. It's like, tastes great.
All right. Well,
Joe's sitting
I'm
there
gonna
like a
Just
cat with a
figure
hairball.
stand.
how about now, since we did a good array quickly of figures,
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to hit one of the mini comics. I'm
Okay.
going to hit, in my opinion, the worst one. That's Battle in the Clouds.
Okay.
This
Yes.
one is guilty.
I
Yeah,
agree with
it's
you. That is the worst one.
it
That one's
is.
got a D on my list.
Yeah, that one hits for me a D because that one had the misunderstanding of everybody thinking this is where Merman kicked He-Man's ass. I'm like, go back and read this masterpiece.
People
When they go
people
back-
not read it.
go read it, and then as you're reading, you're like, what the hell is going on? Merman's here in this one panel, but now he's here. The background's here. What's going on with He-Man's armor? It's there. It's not there. It's all over the place. This one is not fun. Again, art is cool, but art doesn't always make a story. And that story was so shitty. It's the worst one for me. So I put Battle in the Clouds at a D. It's horrendous.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's shitty. I don't think I would go completely into D, but I think maybe overall, compared to everything that we have going on here, I guess it would make most sense. Something's got to sit at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just nothing's laid out right. 1 minute
No.
Tila's not in the story, 1 minute she's tied
Yeah.
up, and it's just like,
I'll bring my book out too.
when did
so I
this
can
happen?
look at all
I guess
these
she was
again.
captured easily. Tila wouldn't be captured easily, but
So
yeah,
where do you
this
put
is
it, Becca?
all- I put it at D. Same as
D?
you.
All right, Tyler.
D for dog shit.
There you go. All right, so I guess we're doing the average.
Yeah, that one scene where it's describing Stratos like carrying the thing and He-Man falling off and him just flying off, not noticing. I'm like, that would be
Right.
so fucking
You
goofy.
did not notice this
Why would
all
you
the way.
do that?
Right. Oh God. That's some bad moments. That's why I bring this up. It's like for everybody to then go back and read these, because we've had it where we've done, episodes of the Filmation cartoon, and people said, you know what, you made me want to go back and watch that episode. I hope this makes you really go back and read these comics to think, were they the masterpieces that people think they were just because the art? Because when you hit the story, you really are.
Oh shit!
Oh, did he have a Joe moment? Did he knock a figure over?
Yep, blade fell over.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Damn.
Oh man.
I gotta move
That's
up.
a first.
I'm getting too
Hopefully
big
he
for my
didn't
room.
He didn't break, did he?
No, he's in good shape here. Next to
Now,
Paul
if
Karate.
if you put him on the shelf and then somehow he fell back just enough to domino affect everybody else falling over, that would suck.
I've often thought, like, if I did bang into this, all my vintage stuff falls off, crashes into my head, and Nathan's clapping his hands like, ha 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 ha.
Yep.
Probably would. Well, Tyler, how about you pick a figure? We have 4 figures left.
Merman.
Merman?
Merman.
All right.
Where do you put him?
Yes. Without question. Another figure I craved to have as a kid, and I only saw it from distant relatives that he had all of his He-Man toys all boxed up, and I just mentioned I still liked He-Man. I was like, I got all my toys in here, and that's why I got to see Merman for the first time in person. Oh my God. So, yeah. Soft spot for Merman.
Okay, I'm going to give, well, here's my reason. Again, as a kid, getting them all right from the beginning. And sometimes
the cross-sell artwork. Oh my God, here we go.
No, like I said, from the beginning, seeing things that you could have got and you didn't get. And when I got him, I was like, why does he look like a fucking cat? That's all I kept thinking as a kid. And I was just really
You
like, I was like,
ungrateful bastard.
really? I was like, he looks like a cat. He doesn't even look like this stuff on the card back. This looks awesome. Beastman, while he didn't look exact, was still, ferocious and looked good. But I was like, what happened with this Merman? So I was let down as a kid. I didn't play with Merman a whole bunch, and he kind of became bland to me. So I give him a B for bland, no pun intended. But yeah, I give Merman a B.
You're a prick.
A B,
Thank
not
you.
even an A?
No, I give him a B. He couldn't even get an A for me. Merman was kind of a letdown. I'm sorry. Am I on the show still? You guys kicking me off? But yeah, I put a B for.
With the way that this is set up now, I kind of do have the power to just click and then remove Joe from the call or just mute him. I could do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And Joe just, like, we're all just talking along, and Joe think, wow, they're really great with everything I'm saying. Wow, they're not debating.
I may have to do that one day.
I'm spouting poetry here. They're just going right along.
And we'll just see Joe, like, his Chris Farley shit over there with his hands. Well, Tom Arnold. Chris Farley has Tom Arnold.
Yeah, pulling his Tom Arnold, yeah. Leaning in, out.
Holding his head.
Did not hear a single word. Oh, shoot. Well, Nathan, where would you put Merman?
I feel like it's kind of boring if I just say S.
I mean, your honest opinion. I mean, what?
I don't think that's boring at all. This is by far the most important line. Like, I mean, outside of Joe just being an asshole later on, like, there isn't a...
What?
I
Me?
feel like that about the entire line. Yes, we know where it's going. You know what? I'll shut up.
So what do you
Like,
say?
it's hard to justify really putting any of these characters anything below S.
Yeah.
Like, this is where
I mean,
it all
not really.
began. This
Like
is
I
where
said,
it all
I mean,
started. Like,
It does. I mean, but again, that doesn't always mean that they are absolute perfection. But people in different ways, how they got introduced to the line, some from the cartoon and how they can look back. I could see how some people would love absolutely every one of them. It's just my interpretations were just a little different. I'm actually going by just my childhood, how I played with them and how I think of the characters even looking at them now. And that is, like I said, being honest. I know, yes, when we come to one, it will sound like to be a dick, but that's being honest as well, too. But yeah, I actually wouldn't throw them all as S's. Like the 4 that we did so far, they're S.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones, in my opinion, that deserve to be S. So when I get to the others, it's not being dicks to them, but...
Well,
yeah.
we can average this out. So if we have 3 S's and a B, that would make it an A.
What did you give her back for Merman? Did you give an S?
An S. I was doing what Nathan was like, I'm putting everybody in S, but I can't put him lower. I love Merman.
All right. Well,
Hey,
since
awesome.
it, like
I mean,
you said,
I kind of get
Beautiful
what
color scheme, beautiful design,
I-
awesome sword.
I guess I get where Joe's coming from with the face and everything being kind of different and sort of being like kind of
I mean,
like-
it is, but
I never thought he looked like a
finally
cat,
got him. I didn't. I think people only said because of, Thor is a T, like making a feline, or wasn't that the name of the character? Like,
feline.
I never
you know
saw
what
a
it was
cat
for me.
feline.
What's funny though, it was actually, even though he's fatter, it was Garfield. Around that time, I remember Garfield, and I had a lot of Garfield, like shit, just things of Garfield, and with those ears, and he kind of reminded me of like Garfield as a cat into this, and I was like, not into fucking Merman. Not that he's shitty, but yeah. All right, so he averaged an A, so I guess there we go.
Yeah,
Merman comment.
we'll average out and do an A. Next up, let's do Man at Arms, and I'll go ahead and go first, and I'm gonna say that Man at Arms to me in this wave is the weakest one. So Man at Arms is gonna be the one that I'm gonna give the B to.
What's the reason?
I just don't like the figure. I don't like the look of him. Really, I've never been like. All right, it's one thing to have the Mondo here and look at it and appreciate it, but it's just something about that figure. It's kind of like how Joe was with Merman. I look at that and I'm just like,
Do you look at Man at Arms and say he has less going on than Zodak? Like, even though Zodak is the cosmic enforcer, but he has very little in terms of color and visual presentation. Like, I'm just curious, like you saying that, like, no, I'm just.
No,
it's kind of interesting for you to say that.
Honestly, I feel personally like Zodak's got more to, like, sure, Man at Arms has got more accessories and stuff on him, but Zodak catches my eye more.
Okay,
it's interesting. No, I mean,
it's just
interesting.
I think it's just something about.
I'm trying to pull out more there. It's just good to hear more about your perspective on that.
I think it's just his face, too. Like it's something.
That's what John said, because I'm like.
I'm gonna enlarge him here for
exactly
everybody
what John
at home.
said, because I was told John, he's like, what about Man at Arms? And I said, easily an S. Man at Arms is by far an S. And John was like, well, what about his face? And I'm like, I don't
It's
care.
a smushy face.
Yeah, it's smushy.
kinda-
It's not like, but
yeah.
yeah, it is. But he's so cool. That armor, that detail in his armor, his weapon,
I think
his
it's
color scheme.
I
the
think
helmet,
it's just
yeah.
I've just never been a big Man at Arms fan. At
Well,
all. Like,
and I can understand, because I feel like he is always there no matter what. Like, he's always the one person, always accompanying him, and I used to get tired of that all the time too. But that's why it's hard for me to justify in any way to not make this entire roster top of the line, because they're all the essentials. Like, it begins here. I can't do it. It's not out of if they had flaws, I clearly would say it. But
yeah.
this line is just so damn perfect. If I had to say anything different, I can't do it. I can't just do it for the sake of just being different.
For
yeah,
me,
you gotta be honest.
For me, it's just a personal preference. Like, I just look at him and he's just. I would try to use a wrestling reference here, but this one would just kind of go over everybody's head. He's like the Rob Conway. To me, he comes out. He just comes out there, and there's like no pop from me. He's just like, I'm like, fuck. All right, it's Duncan, and I know people are like, but he's an important part of every iteration of the story he's been a part of. I'm like, yes, that's true, but he's boring to me.
If a character doesn't click with you, then a character doesn't click with you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he's the most interesting. Like, he's more interesting than Merman or Beastman, but because of his essential, aspect and his place, he looks great.
Yeah.
He's not as interesting as He-Man and Skeletor by any means, but I just still think he's a perfect figure, though.
Like the Mondo Man at Arms and the classics Man at Arms.
Oh yeah,
those I'd be like, all right, S class. But the vintage,
or even the 2000X Man at Arms, like I absolutely love that.
That one, yeah, that one's not bad either. And that was actually like I want to say one of the first ones that I got from that line when I started collecting. It was definitely the first thing I ever got off of eBay. But yeah, the vintage just, I think even if you just put the mustache on him, that wouldn't be enough. Because I even when I got the Origins figure, which is there in the closet right now, I'm just like, like that. I don't know. There's just something about the figure that I can't. It's not. I'm like,
I get what you're saying, though.
Nah.
I won't argue that.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, but that's the whole point of
That's why we have you guys on, because it's like we can't
Yeah.
just keep putting everything at S.
So I give
and
him a B.
You did B, and Rebecca and Tyler said S. Man at Arms for me, I think, and that's the thing. I told you, I always like characters when they have some, if they have a lot of stuff, armor and weapons and stuff. And you look at him, it's like he does. His face as a kid did look strange to me, but I have a problem sometimes with OCD. And as a kid, I was like, why doesn't he have armor on the other fucking side? This is just me as a kid. I was like, this is driving me nuts. Yeah. I mean, really, it
I
absolutely
love
drove me
that.
nuts.
I love that there's the
I do
the
too.
one
And
armor.
well, here's the thing.
That's like
Yeah,
what
I
he's
mean, I was
like blocking with, and he's swinging with the
Yeah,
other
like when you have things that are not symmetrical and there's differences, that is cool. As a kid, though, drove me nuts. And I
can
was
understand
like,
that.
Look at that.
Yeah,
You're already
fucking
boring
head-
Tyler, Joe. Hurry up.
no, well, what? I've only been talking 30 seconds, even though it sounds like it's probably
No,
been an
that's
hour.
that's
It
more.
was
That's,
like an eternity.
yeah, it's about 29 seconds too long.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so if there was armor on both sides, it's like it probably would have jazzed him up for me even more. And if like some of the details on his armor were actually painted, because just the solid color. Because here, like in contrast, you look at
That's a good point.
Because look at Beast. Yeah, Beastman with his armor has a lot of color combinations going on with it. Skeletor, even though he doesn't, the purple just pops. It's just menacing, just fits him perfectly. Man at Arms, like, damn, I've seen this stuff in the comics, and couldn't that have been painted here? So for me, he got an A. He was not perfection. He wasn't B level, but I do an A. So
See,
I guess
I thought he had more color contrast than Beastman, because even
Well,
though
he-
Beastman
well, I mean,
looks beautiful, that bright orange, but he is almost all
Man at
one
Arms, you're right. He's
color.
got orange. He's
Yeah.
got the light blue. He's got the brown. He's got the stuff on the belt and the green body. You're right. There's a lot going on. It just I wanted more to the armor. It's just it was too solid of a color as a kid. It sounds good, fuck Joe.
I think it's just great that
Hey.
he just keeps yawning when you talk. That's what's,
Yeah, I can't help it. I'll probably yawn when everybody talks at some point because I'm like, it's past my bedtime.
Well, we got two S's, we got a B and an A, but I think the average would have to put it almost to an A, right?
yeah.
Wouldn't that put that-
I'm gonna move it here to A. And I know why Tyler's yawning. I know he had a late night last night. We don't need to really get into that too
Oh, well.
much. He was up later than usual. Anyway, on to the next thing. What mini comic would you like to do now?
Let's do Vengeance of Skeletor and just put that at a C. I mean, they tried, but it's like some more stuff like, I don't know. Again, we'll in-depth talk about some of these sometimes so you guys hear what we're actually saying and why, but yeah, that one, it was just another one. I was like,
I
yeah.
think the sea creature, if altered slightly in design, would have bumped it up for me a little bit more. But I'm kind of
It looks too friendly.
yeah.
It's not very menacing
It's
looking.
very cute.
But it is no battle in the clouds. So I'm with Joe. I think C is a good place to put it. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Yeah, I would put it the same with He-Man and the Power Sword. I think that's where I put that one, was a C.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it there because it has some interesting images, but it's nothing I would never rank any of these in my top 10 by any means.
I'd say
Bec-
C is a fair place to put
C?
it. I was
Alright,
like C,
that's-
B, B's maybe a little being too nice to it.
All right. Well, that sucker's in the C. So, I think we'll have to go to Zodak now. We have to go to Zodak. And as for Zodak, next to Stratos, I am not being mean, he was one of my least played with. Cool looking figure, though. I mean, at least he had the weapon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the. Of course, the cosmic helmet. It's just badass. The armor's badass. The gun is. Something is keeping him from hitting S for me, though. I really can't explain. He never hit an S. He's a good A to me. I do love Zodak. I love the design. Just, I felt like
He's more
took him
subdued,
into something-
like visually. Like he doesn't. His color scheme and just overall design is not as like in your face so much.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Beastman, hits you hard. He-Man hits you hard. Skeletor. Zodak is by far the most subdued visually. Like he's
for an
more-
example, if he didn't have that helmet, let's say that was just a normal human head, it would have really knocked it down.
Then even then I would probably like the helmet is what differentiates him like by far, like even more than his armor. It's all about that helmet.
Yeah, so I put
Definitely.
him myself. I put him at an A, not an S, but I put Zodak at an A.
What about with the chest armor being black? Does that change anything for you?
No, that's just
Actually,
weapons
no,
pack stuff.
I think that makes it look that brings it down a notch. Like because
Okay.
that's what I had to have on mine for a while was the black, and it just didn't look as good. Like it's a fun thing that they put in with the weapons pack, but without that red armor, like it's kind of boring looking if you put the black on him.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm kind of partial to the character because he is the cosmic balance, as am I on this show. But
Nathan's the watcher of Fans of Power.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I didn't even think about that either. That would actually be kind of
There
a
you
cool
go.
thing if you, but I have long hair and the watcher is completely bald, so that doesn't work.
And you don't have a fat head.
Yeah, I don't have a I got a big forehead.
No, you don't.
I kind of do.
So you don't have Jeff Hardy head.
He did have a fucking humongous head when you're like smashing me against the railing to try to like touch his hand and everything.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Jeffrey, over here.
God, you're such a mark for
right
that
over.
guy. And I the only thing that stuck out to me, as soon as he passed by and you were like, I'm never washing my hand again, I was like, man, he's got a big fucking head. It's like abnormally large.
It did look like Circus Freak size. His head was enormous. Like you just, even that. Am I being such a screaming fanboy?
Man,
a female Beatles fan.
I didn't have a visible.
Did Tyler
bruise.
really say he wasn't going to wash his hand? Did he say that, or are you
I
just making
can't
that?
remember. He probably said.
I don't think I said that. I was just more excited the fact that he came right over, like he beeline right over.
Well,
to
I mean,
me, like,
wouldn't
as a
you when
dog
you see
pound
some
over
crazy maniac that has his friend pressed up against the fucking guardrail, and I'm like, oh
Like,
god, this dude, and you're just like, touch me.
Yeah, that's what I was just, touch me.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. And then it happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you give Zodak?
Oh, look at Joe. Joe's like, come on, we have to move it along. I have to shit on Stratos. Can we please? Let's.
Don't you know? And it pisses me off when he does it because he does it every episode. When we
What did I
really
do?
start to have fun, Joe's like, we're not here for fun, guys.
No.
I need to start talking here.
I want to talk about going to 7-Eleven and getting the chili and putting it in the
Then
bag.
he wants us all to shut the hell up. So when he talks about how you can save money by being, going to your local Dollar Tree and buying shit out of their garbage bin. Yeah.
They got good shit though. They do have good stuff.
Uh-huh.
And they're garbage.
But you expect us to, guys, it's live and learn with Joe Amato. With
That's
Joe
right.
Boogers.
Oh, Booger Red over here.
I always makes me think of Letters from Santa Butthead on the Beavis and Butthead Christmas special when he can't say the name. He goes, Jeff Boogers.
I've never watched that show before. I've never seen it.
What?
No.
Are clips of the
guy's
Christmas
name is
special
Jeff
online?
August, and he can't say it. I can't fucking talk now. It's such a silly thing, but that clip is on YouTube where he's trying to say Jeff Bogus and he says Jeff Boogers. And
Just start
was
doing
always
that.
so fun.
Doing your next
It's
intro and
still
just be
funny
like
to me to
Joe
this day, and it's so juvenile.
Boogers.
Joe
Joe Boogers.
That's another show I've
That'd be a
never
great
seen.
kids cartoon. Oh my god. Joe would be a marketing sensation.
Oh man, yeah, Joe Boogers going to the
Boogers.
back alleyway to King Coupon. We make a whole fucking action figure line out of that.
And Joe's walking around with his
I'll have to
finger
check
in his
it.
nose the whole time, like giving himself a brain massage.
Joe Boogers.
Oh,
Oh my
shit.
god.
I'll have to check a clip online on it because I've never seen the show. So
Well, it's short. It's like 1 second of the Christmas special where they're reading letters from people.
I mean, he can't even finish watching a 20-minute episode of G.I. Joe. You expect him to
let me
sit down.
talk about Joe just thinks he's humorous when we know he's full of shit when he says he's gonna watch. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, he promises shit all the time. Next week, I'm gonna have a new mask. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
no, the store didn't get in the ink
Next
yet.
week, I'll
So
have the second part of the trailer watch. Like, no.
I will. I'll
Rebecca,
watch all of it. I
come up with
promise.
something for him I'm curious if he'll do something for Rebecca, but not me and Nathan.
Probably.
Like Rebecca, give him a chore for next week that he needs to complete. We'll just see if he bombs miserably.
And not something that Tyler and I have mentioned before. Like something you personally would be like, hey, Joe, I really think you would enjoy this. You should check it out.
Yeah, and something that, I mean, obviously, if it's on VHS, it's something he has access to, then okay. But, something that he can just look up on his own cheap internet and watch like anybody else, like
Aliens.
average Joe.
Watch Aliens.
Is that on?
I thought,
I think it's on.
I thought you had a DVD set of that, Joe. Or VHS tapes or something. I thought I remember you saying you had the set.
For VHS, but I can't use that VHS player no more. It almost eats tapes. I don't want it to wreck anything. I'd have to find a new old VHS. Does that make sense? A new old one? Yeah, if I could find one online.
Well, just go to
cheap.
Goodwill. They got those there all the time.
I could probably find a combo with a DVD player. I'm sure they still exist. Sometimes Big Lots does do that stuff. If they do that, then I could get one. But or I could just, like I said, download Aliens and watch it on a service if it's available on a service.
Download on a service.
Download on a service.
On the internet. I went to the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking
www.
Free movies.
Download moviesforfree.com.
Yeah, he
sponsored by Dollar Tree.
He is like our Johnny Lawrence on here in terms of like technology.
When there was some shit that was being said
Surprised he
on that
knows
show.
what Facebook is.
Yeah, I was pretty much at some degree. Some of the things he was mentioning, I was like, "That's me," because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they said some of this stuff either. I really am. So, but I am on Facebook though, so I at least could do that before. So I'm not that bad. Slightly, but not horrible.
Actually, Joe, there's a movie I want you to watch. I want you to watch Ticks, and it's you can watch it on YouTube. So I'll shoot you the link after, and then maybe that's something you and I, and if Rebecca wants to join in, because I know Tyler doesn't want to watch it.
Hell, wait! There is a real good movie. My buddy Mark Sorter from Facebook, he said, "Joe, you have got to see this movie called Terrifier." And when I'm hearing, I'm like, "Well, I don't where can I get it?"
That's like the clown guy, right? That's on Netflix.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
I need to watch it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Rebecca, that is a twisted movie, and it's free. You can see it for free. So he sent me a link, and I watched it on my tablet here. I couldn't watch it on my computer because it's always risking viruses, so I can't go to websites on my computer. But I can do it on the tab.
Okay.
But it's called Terrifier.
Joe.
It does have this clown.
So Joe, how do you watch your porn?
Well, you see, what he does is
Joe watches those big ass like box.
No. He
box that came in like some this big.
Either that, or he just either that, or he just Betty Nugs, and he just takes ketchup and mustard. Actually, no, that would be wasteful of condiments again. No, so that wouldn't work out.
Maybe Joe just draws pictures like on like draw erase boards, like he's like Joey Donner in 10 Things I Hate About You, drawing like
drawing tits on a lunch tray.
Yeah, and then draws a dick on his face. That's what Joe draws a dick on his face.
I gotta see that movie. I've never seen that movie.
Of course
before.
you haven't.
Of course you haven't.
I'm gonna see all this stuff eventually.
Joe Amato, I'm gonna watch all the movies.
I will.
Yeah, I don't know
someday.
if Aliens on anything free.
Yeah.
We own it, so we don't.
Joe, I think Joe probably knew that. He said, "I'm just watching on one of them download streaming services." He was bullshitting right there on the spot, knowing full well
I'll
he
watch it
wasn't
on the
gonna watch it.
YouTube.
I'm gonna go to www.netflix.com.
Watch alienforfree.com.
Yeah.
Well, you figure it does have to be on some service. Then I could.
Do you call hashtags hash browns like Julia?
Right. Yeah, hash brown. With Johnny Lawrence and that shit. And what do you say? Send it to the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
Christ.
Well, it's saying premium subscription with who? Oh, it's on Showtime right now. Showtime has the rights to that, so you definitely don't have that.
There it goes.
You can get a free trial though, I think.
Free? Oh, if there's a free trial, then
yeah. Well, you know what? I
Like
guess I
Sunday.
could just buy Joe the Quadrilogy on Amazon and get it shipped to his house.
No. I'd rather watch it for free.
No.
But you are watching for free.
Yeah.
Well, but he'd have to pay, and I don't
But
want
then-
him spending money on.
But then I'll
you
feel.
know.
I'm pretty
But you
sure
don't mind
that.
taking his money for. You don't mind, him spending money on food to send to you, or having Rebecca spend money on food to send to you.
It's not terrible. I enjoy the free food. And hey, Nathan, just to let you know, I never did open that ornament that your mom got yet. I'm saving it for December. It's still in the box. I never did open.
Why are you doing
And I
that?
mean the mailer box. I didn't even open the mailer box. Still sealed. So I'll open that live when December comes on Fans of Power.
What?
See?
What a surprise that's going
What?
to be.
Holy.
I want to know what it looks like.
Oh,
Joe.
gee, I wonder what it is.
Well, it makes me feel good like
Wouldn't
I got
you want to
something for
open it up to
Christmas.
make sure that like nothing got damaged or anything?
Oh, we're going to find out at the
Or that
first...
you were sent the right ornament.
the first Sunday in December, I'll open it, and then I can put it on the Christmas tree. So I actually been saving it just to feel like I did something in December. Oh God, that makes me sound sad. So yeah, so Zodak, I gave him an A, right? I ate him. Where did you, Rebecca? Where do you put Zodak?
You said you ate him.
I gave him an A just because he's not as visual. I don't think he's awesome, but I don't think he as awesome as those other ones we mentioned.
Okay.
Personally, I think he's probably the weakest one in there for me.
Okay. Tyler. Is this where we play the Jeopardy?
A.
An A.
A. Yeah, I'll go with A on that one.
And what did you hit,
Yeah.
Nathan? Did you say A or S?
I said B. Remember? Or
Did
wait,
you?
no.
Oh, I
Oh,
did,
wait,
but-
no. B was Man at Arms. Zodak, A.
Right.
Sorry, jeez.
That's the first time I think we all hit this. Well, besides some of those obvious S's, but okay. All right. Well, now we'll go to a mini comic. Now, when we go to King of Castle Grayskull, see, this is, and again, not that it was bad, but it was more cohesive than Vengeance of Skeletor, or Vengeance of Skeletor, and Battle in the Clouds.
Don't even know the names. I
But-
thought you were a true fan.
Yeah, well, I did, but then I had a brain hiccup, but I went right back to the normal thing.
Had a brain
But-
booger.
No,
Booger's getting too big. Infiltrated his
But
brain.
like I said, we first had
Clean
He-Man and
things out there, Joe.
we first had He-Man and the Power Sword, which pretty much I thought established it. And as a kid reading that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's it. But then King of Castle Grayskull, it's like, what are you doing? You're saying the story again in a different way, though. What happened? And again, that one still had a story that was pretty okay compared to the two that are in C and D right now. But I guess for me, I would want to put it at a B, but not as good as He-Man and the Power Sword. Like it'd be
Mhm.
after. Like it's a B,
Yeah.
but it's like a retelling. So they, like I said, they were almost pretty much there. But some of the shit when it hiccuped, I was like, what's going on? So it's not shit like the others, but it's again, it's not a perfection. So it's a B, but it's a less than B of He-Man and the Power Sword, in my opinion.
I gave it a C.
C? Okay. And what made you do C? Because of how it started changing stuff up? And
Yeah, because it made Tila an idiot. Her just like, yeah, okay. I can't recognize you, Skeletor, with mud on your face.
now, didn't that
Yeah,
annoy you?
like,
That was the thing. When they mentioned that clay, they were mentioning, we'd never seen it, but you heard the description about, how Skeletor put clay on his face to look like, Castle Grayskull, the facade and face of it. And then when he goes in there, she thinks that it's
and
the
he's
true
yeah, and
thing.
he's dressed like Skeletor.
He looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, where is the... Could you guys have at least put some effort of drawing this so-called clayed Grayskull face, but it looks just like Skeletor? And they said, but then he removes it, and she sees it's Skeletor. Not that the armor
Sounded
and
like
body
Vince
wouldn't give
there
it
for a
away.
second.
No, you know what I mean?
And then
The
she
armor,
removes it. Oh.
the armor and the
Yeah,
body
I
didn't
know.
give it away, but apparently
But
this
it's hard
face...
to give it a C just because of the artwork in it.
I think
So hard to put that in any.
it could be argued that this one could have the best artwork. It's definitely up there.
Mhm.
So that's why I would give it a B, because I think it's up there with He-Man and the Power Sword.
Okay.
I like
Sounds like Brian Gumble over there. Okay. Okay. I'm good.
Joe's probably like, who is that?
Is this the first time Tila's redhead too?
God, I don't know. They hiccup this thing so much with her
I think
hair
it was.
on slightly red, down, up. everywhere,
well,
wanting
it's,
to be the bride, wanting to be this confused person. That's what I mean. It's like in the first one, okay, Skeletor wanted Tila as a bride, but now no more of that, and now she looks
Oh
completely
yeah, he
different.
wanted
but
her
now
as
she's
a bride,
the
but he.
I haven't looked at this one in so long.
It did switch though, because it starts off red, and
That's what I said.
then there's
Why
one
so-
where
Yeah, that
she's
was the
blonde,
first time it's red.
and then it's up,
So,
and then it's
I
down.
don't understand the switch. Yeah, the quick switch is just what just confused me. Like, why? He says Skeletor wanted her as a bride. Now she's the one that's guarding Grayskull, but it's not the goddess slash sorceress that we've seen in the original. And we still have a spirit of Castle Grayskull. It's like, what are you guys? Can you pick
Yeah,
one?
they didn't know what they. Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing. They were rushed. It was.
But
You have to make a mini comic. It's like what?
I do thoroughly enjoy, and even though our cameras are smaller here on screen for everybody at home, I do really enjoy like the space where you just see like different planets and stars.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
those
that's
are
gorgeous.
badass pieces of
Yeah,
art.
There's-
I mean,
I
it
like
is.
that a
All
lot.
the artwork is in S. It's
True. I agree. And
You're
the story
judging it
is
on
not.
just the artwork.
Well, except for Battle in the Clouds, I think the art, all the art in
Oh,
that,
yeah,
I'm just
some of
like,
the artwork in
pretty
that is
forgettable
True.
in that one.
It didn't look like they put as much into her, or he put as much effort into it. And maybe because of the locations that they had to use weren't that striking. As in this one, though, it's everything that they use. Like, wow, now that looks great. Oh,
Is it
So
me
the
or is
story
like
is-
any scenes that are shot at or that are, like depicted at night? Like I'm
there's a lot of them now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like
that's
those
what I
right
was
there,
just
like,
showing
I
Yeah,
up.
find this to be
that
quite
definitely looks like it's
fascinating,
at nighttime.
You know? Well, I mean, I know it is. I'm just saying, like, it's just.
Joe,
It's
you
just
should
fascinating.
you should take some of those images and rework them, and I don't know, put them on a T-shirt or
Put
something.
them on a T-shirt, you
Hmm.
know.
How about that?
You know, if you're not doing anything, take your finger out of your nose for
Yeah,
once
I
in
mean,
your
you know,
life, and
if
then
you're-
put
if
something up on T-Public for me
Yeah,
to buy.
if you're not gonna watch Aliens or anything else, that we
Watch
recommend.
Alien. What the hell did you say, Tyler? What was your grade on this, anyways?
I didn't say it.
Oh.
You know, I love the artwork, of course. It's beautiful images, but you know, I mean, see, you know, I never go back to these and revisit any of them. I'll glance at the artwork here and there, but it always starts from the second wave and on. And when I want to revisit the mini comics, I just they're just kind
That's
of.
when they had more time to plan it and think it out more. Where these were so rushed.
And these are more or less just story books. They're not comic books like the
Yeah.
mini comics are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even though like this is one of my, I mean, those two I just showed you are like probably my favorites from this book. Anything happening on the parapets of Grayskull to me makes for fascinating storytelling. There's just something about. I tried to get Axel to do that for me one time. He didn't understand what I was talking about.
Parapets?
And well, yeah, I don't know how it was. It ended up turning into like a snow battle instead. But I wanted like to have Evil Warriors like rushing up on He-Man on like the parapet, like he's there by himself, like Jitsu and Too Bad, like the Cloth were all going to come charging at him, but it just didn't work out there. But maybe I shouldn't explain it too well. But I was always fascinated by battles that take place on the top of Castle Grayskull. Like you see it in some of the Golden books. And I didn't get enough of that happening. I like to see more of that done. Because it's just, I don't know, it's just something. It adds a little bit more level of epic. You know, when you're fighting on it's like fighting on a big bridge. You know, there's like nothing but cliffs and water down below, or giant man-eating alligators and crocodiles, like in Temple of Doom. You know,
Yeah.
when just went silent on it. Well, fuck you guys.
Oh shit! No, I'll tell you. You were talking about, like you said, these are ones you never revisit, Tyler. I'll agree. The only ones I do revisit are He-Man and the Power Sword and King of Castle Grayskull. Like I said, because they still are pretty good stories while confusing. But I choose He-Man and the Power Sword because I like that kind of origin a little bit better than this. But this one did have a lot more. It seemed like the art did stand out. There was something that just, it did pop a little more. But
Yeah, I visit a lot just breezing through the book and just looking.
yeah,
at
like I
pictures.
can only revisit those two. But yeah, Vengeance of Skeletor, Battle in the Clouds. Those ones I can't revisit. They're too rough. They really missed the mark on a lot of things, like I said earlier.
So,
I guess
do we have 2 B's and 2 C's on this?
Yeah, so that's I guess that's a hanger. We're at a C plus B
So
minus.
then we defer
Chat?
to the chat. Would you give this a B or a C? And I know some people are gonna be like, it's an A or it's an S, which is fine. So
Yeah, it's fine if you like.
Go. You guys give your rating for that mini comic, and then we'll average that between our B's and C's, and we'll figure out a final placement. And while we do that, because that will probably take a little bit to kind of average that out, let's get to the last thing here. Saving the best for last, and that is Stratos. I give Stratos an S. S for Stratos, Joe. S for Stratos.
Tyler, what do you give Stratos?
Yes, because I really loved the figure as a kid and the character. So I didn't get to have him until I was a little bit older. So.
Yay! Stratos gets an S.
Yeah, he means a lot to me. Yeah.
Sounds like 3-1. Huh. Go figure. All right,
What's yours, Joe?
Go on your fucking rant. Not like we care.
This whole discussion was just built around this.
Yeah, that's the entire reason Joe picked this.
No, it really wasn't.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to do the original. No, really, I thought we'd do the original wave of characters, and those first 4 mini comics was good. But no, Stratos where he's sitting right now. That's where I put him. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm giving you my story again. As a kid, of everything that I played with, and when I played with him, I remember even getting him out of the package. I thought I lost a weapon. Because, where's his weapon? Everybody else has a weapon. Why doesn't this guy have a weapon?
Well, I mean, that just proves that you're a dumb kid if you didn't know that
I'm a
have a weapon.
dipshit. I was like, oh, he's got wings. That's cool, and I can go like this. But
bastard.
I was like, there's no weapon? And I seen him in the mini comics. It really didn't do much more for me. He's like, oh, he shoots shit out of his hand. So when I'm playing him, I'm supposed to imagine going pew, pew, out of his hand. It just, God damn, something could have saved him. Give him a gun. I showed last week to somebody in one of the groups a Fantastic Stars figure, and those were bootleg knockoffs of Masters of the Universe, real small though, and they did their version of Stratos, and would you believe this Stratos had a gun? I was like, see, even these fuckers doing bootlegs got it. They're like, yes, give him some kind of weapon. It could have made me at least appreciate him a little more, but I'm sorry, I can't fucking stand it. Only Super 7 got it right with their 5.5-inch one, where they gave him both Staff of Avions. I was like, that is the only Stratos figure I love. This one, from a kid and until now, I hate this fucking figure, and I put it as a D. And the average, because of 3 S's and a D, that has to put him at an A. With the average, you think about being in school. So that have to put him at an A. I ruined him being an S.
I think I'm gonna.
But he's still got an A.
Yeah, he is. He's an A.
Yeah.
You
And the
make
chat
a
went
fair
with B
point
on-
that he didn't come with anything.
Yeah,
That
just
didn't- that didn't
for
bother
me,
me,
it's
though.
just
He never used
the
a weapon in the
aesthetic of
cartoon,
the
though.
figure. Yeah.
I think it was just.
I love
It's
the gray.
almost-
I love his color scheme. I love the gray, blue, and red on him.
He
And it just
does. He
doesn't
has a
look like
good look.
any other figure. You know?
And you're right, he does, and I absolutely agree. It's just, I know as a kid with getting all of these and for the first time in playing, and he was almost never played with. I mean, almost never. He just really sat there and was just a background character. I got no enjoyment with that damn figure. And Zodak was kind of a close second almost, with not really playing with too much. Everybody else, yes, I played with more, but Stratos was just a letdown as a kid. I'm picturing a lot of kids when they first got something for the first time. But no, I can understand why you guys like him. I mean, yes, he does have an amazing design. He's an iconic character. He's a staple in the world of Masters of the Universe. But yeah, I D'd him. But so we went up to. Oh wait,
Whoa.
Jesus
Graham,
Christ,
Graham, don't make
got
the
the
picture
D.
of that, please.
Damn.
Give him a T. That's what I meant. See, oh wait, here. This one I want to bring up. Andy Alsey in the chat said this, and I keep saying, Andy, you're insane, because he's never found the picture. Andy a while back said, Joe, I'm almost certain that he came with a blue gun. My version came with a blue gun. Of course, Andy, remember, is the one that got to play with the Lords of Power figures when he was a kid, because his dad worked on the line and did some of the art for it and everything, and that's how we know about Lords of Power, is because of Andy Yowzy and his father. But Andy is convinced that his Stratos figure had a blue gun. I was like, Andy, you're fucking nuts. There is no blue gun with Stratos, dipshit. So there, just had to say that. See, that's how I address the chat room. I love everybody in the chat, though. But yeah,
I like how it
Andy's
goes. It just
insane.
always goes back to Joe just being like, I'm a good guy. Tyler, by the way, I muted my mic. And this one comes from Jeff Bookers. It's hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
Speaking of a Jeff,
I'm like, I know it's so weird and random. I guess I'll send it to Rebecca too, because I know she'll watch it.
Yeah. With the
And Joe would
time,
just
with
sit there
the
and
same
fart.
timestamp that you sent for me as well, that would be good.
Right.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll mention that Jeff Morris in the chat, he said it's funny. He said he had the same reaction as I did with Stratos. He said, what does that make him? That makes you an awesome fan,
It
Jeff.
makes you an asshole, Jeff Morris. You're an asshole,
Yeah,
Joe
he give you an
Amato.
A for asshole.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm kidding, Jeff Morris. Please don't take that
not.
seriously.
So I said, I'm not. Becca's like, I'm not saying nothing.
Please continue to watch and like our show. That's it.
He's like, we
Unsubscribed.
Unsubscribe, like it just went down by one. How the hell is that?
Yeah.
And Jeff Morris used the
At
chat.
least we know
room
who
and
did it this week.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
or
true.
Who gave us the dislike? You
Yeah.
know, it's always that one guy. Maybe it's him every week. We don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear. You know what? And while everybody's sending off stuff back and forth and videos for everybody to see, I'll read some of the stuff with the chat. First, let me say, chat, if you did have
Are you
any
just mad
questions,
because I didn't send it to you, Joe? I would send it to you, but we know damn well you're not
Well,
going to watch it.
but before
I will.
before we defer to questions from the chat, Joe and Newt, because I'm assuming you have this on your screen as well. Are we locked in with this pretty much? We don't have. I guess we don't have to
I
go
have no
through.
problems with it.
We don't have to go through like in each S. Like, oh, okay, so technically Beastman
I would
before
have
He-Man or
put
anything. We don't-
Merman and Man at Arms at S for sure, and Stratos at S. But that was me.
I mean,
Yep,
I would think Stratos would need to be an S. And
Nope, he can't. Because of those 3 S's and a D, that
I
averages
think
an
I'm
A.
gonna
So
move Stratos into S.
don't you dare put him hit. That sucker's staying in
Yeah,
A.
I already
You don't
moved
move
him.
him.
You can't control it. Can you move this?
Dick bag.
Use your mind tricks, Joe.
All right. Well,
What's your free food
the
gonna do
casual-
for you now? Yeah, piece of shit.
Well, the casual critic had a comment. Said Zodak is a C for me and Stratos is a B. He said, other than that, I agree with all the figure rankings. Not sure on the comics though, because it's been so long since I've seen them. And really, that's why I said casual critic. We say these things because we're hoping you will go back and read them and think, were those comics as amazing as people thought they were? Some people think they were absolute perfection, and their entire world will revolve around those 4 mini comics and just these 8 figures sometimes. And sometimes it stretches to 12. But otherwise, this is the definitive history of Masters, are these 4 mini comics for a lot of fans. So if that is for them, fine. But I urge them, please go back and reread, and maybe you'll think they weren't that great, or you still might say, God, all the stories are fucking awesome, and the art's beautiful. The art, yes, we know it's beautiful. Stories, though, might want to read them again. So, but this is the part of the show that if you did have any questions, comments, whatever you want to make about Master Universe, if you have anything for us, hit it here right now. In the meantime, I'll see if there was anything else in the chat where anybody said something. Fedmon asked me if I prefer Stratos with red wing blue pack or the blue wing red pack. I guess I never really cared. All I wanted was, after finding out, I never knew this as a
All
kid.
I wanted was an accessory for the figure.
I'd like to have the Bluebeard Stratos because those suckers are super rare and worth a ton of money. So Andy Owsley, maybe that's what you're thinking. Stratos didn't have a fucking blue gun; he had a blue beard possibly, and that is a very rare figure.
Supposedly, I don't know if he has it in his collection yet or not, but Cody Rhodes is apparently getting into collecting Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I've been noticing. I was like, "What the hell?" He was showing a lot of stuff on one of those.
But
yeah,
he also has like origin shit and revelation shit, and I'm like, come on, man,
He doesn't count.
what are you doing?
I'm sorry. If you're gonna start your collection with that kind of stuff, like, and you're gonna brag about it, like, I'm like, you don't count. You don't count. You're not doing this. I'm not doing this.
And Andy Yowzy did say he looked through all his storage boxes for that blue gun, and surprisingly, he never found it. He thought he was going to prove me wrong. So it was just like I said, he's just imagining things because his mind was warped.
I think I remember that argument on your page.
I did. I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
You get a lot of those people where they're remembering things that aren't there.
Yeah,
That's what I feel like how
but-
people feel about these 4 mini comics. They
Well,
think they remember these epic ideas and thoughts. And
Didn't
stories. Like,
somebody
no.
say like He-Man killed somebody in a mini comic? And I'm like, what mini comic?
Yeah.
and that never
What
happened.
were you reading?
Oh, they're reading a special edition that I don't know,
Well,
maybe it was only.
what's more fun is when they're called out and they try and defend. Well, I'm pretty certain I saw
I'm
it. You know, I
pretty
mean, I'll have to
sure.
go back. I mean, yeah.
JSP had one for you, Tyler. JSP said, "Tyler,
Okay.
what was that artwork you said you wished you could get as a print?"
Like just now?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. But yeah, he said from earlier, so maybe he meant something from earlier.
It was like the images of He-Man and Teela chasing Skeletor up the ladder on the parapet of Grayskull, and then like when he's firing the laser cannon at them.
Yeah,
With the night sky, you get the assorted planets in the sky.
Well,
I just thought they looked amazing.
You also said that one. Let's see if I can find it. Where you said Teela was like laying down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Also, the one where he's carrying her. Beastman's carrying her into the
Beastman,
castle.
yeah.
Skeletor's like that. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
It's like, I mean,
you see the moonlight behind them.
Yeah, it's like, Joe, you should just put these on a shirt or something.
Or even this one, I did think this one was a lot of fun too. Where you see Stratos, one of the evil warriors there, like that's pretty. And then you see, what appears to be a man at arms at the top there. But I just the images at night and with Master of the Universe, I just find them to be the most fascinating. I don't know why. I just think they look really cool when they take place at night. Like the Dragon Invasion takes place at night. I love that episode. Brand the Monster sucks, but it takes place at night.
Oh, fuck off. All right, Oliver Belmont had a question. Rebecca, Tyler, Joe, and Nathan, in your kid years, were you tempted to get any Masters of the Universe knockoffs, or did you remain loyal to vintage He-Man? And he said, Joe said people opening Faker and duplicate. Joe, any say on people opening Faker and duplicate on YouTube? I didn't watch any people doing that. If they did, that's cool that they got it, no problem. But as for me, I never got the knockoffs because I did think, damn it, this is imitating He-Man. But sure as shit, I wish I would have got them now because, God, there's so many cool-ass lines and other things from Remco. And they're worth a lot of money, but I didn't get any of them, and I wish I would. And it might have been probably restrained to obviously knowing there was only a certain amount of lines I could get to afford because, my parents are not going to say, oh, yeah, you can get this, you can get that, you can get that. So in a way, I actually felt like it was a betrayal. Like, what is this fake He-Man stuff? Even though some of it obviously looked real cool as a kid, and now as an adult, god damn, I regret it. But I would have liked to, but no, I never did get any. What about any of you?
I was never, I wasn't, I don't know, of two minds as a kid. And this, not with Masters, because all my Master stuff was just like hand-me-downs. So I think any opportunity to get an action figure, even if it was something as simple as going to Joe's favorite store in the world, Dollar Tree, as a kid, and seeing the knockoffs, even if just getting that toy and having it and playing with it to any varying degree, like even if I was like, this is kind of cheap, you can still use that in your story time with your action figures for something. They can just be fodder for like getting their ass kicked or whatever. But I don't know. I appreciated like any tiny thing except for when I got those fucking Ninja Turtle troll dolls from my uncle for my birthday that year. That kind of drew the line, but those aren't knockoffs, of course. But I always appreciate
was officially the line. I seen those. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
never knew it because I didn't collect all that stuff. But those trolls are official from Turtles.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There was like a new troll fad back in the early '90s. They like
Oh
battled.
hell yeah, there was.
I remember that. But I'll have to get my mom to dig out the picture of me because there's a picture of me like looking at the camera and just like hold them up. And then I got John and Derek Opencar behind me just like laughing their asses off because I told them, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to get me something Turtles related. And at this point, I was already like super into baseball. Like I was already kind of moving on a little bit from like action figure stuff. Because I'm like, we all did that. It's like, that's kid shit, But, I'll have to get that picture and get it scanned and show it.
Picture Nathan in the same picture with John and Derek Opencar is hard to imagine.
We were friends back in the day because of baseball. Yeah. So, yeah. It's like, hey, come to my birthday party. It'll be awesome. Here's some fucking troll Ninja Turtle figures. I think even my parents remember this. Like, just being like, okay, and my parents doing things like, oh, well, pretend like you're excited or whatever. I'm pretty sure my dad was laughing behind the camera because he's like, aha, look at that. He got the shit he didn't want. Whatever.
And it's always like a relative will get you something like a figure you would never voluntarily pick up in any store. And like, why is that? Like the turtle variants, I never asked.
But I feel like they came through most of the time in terms of like cheaper vehicles or play sets, like smaller stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they came through in that regard, but they were always it's always very variant heavy too, like you said.
Oh God.
I wish I would have got some. Now that you're mentioning trolls, because I seen recently that they did trolls in a knockoff He-Man style too. I think like one was Troll Force, maybe, and
Stone Protectors.
well, there was a couple. There was Stone Protectors, there was Troll Force, and I think even Troll Fighter, and they all had that kind of knockoff. Some were more Remco-ish. Remember how Remco had the one normal size and then the smaller size that, like, the legs wouldn't move? Remember, they were set and fixed; they could not be posed. So there was a multitude of different types of trolls, because I guess you said everybody was trying to catch, or capitalize on the craze. But I never got any. It was only recently.
I never understood it though, because I didn't know anybody who actually collected trolls at the time when I was a kid. Like, no girls were collecting them.
Yeah, even when it was a craze, I don't remember either. I never remember anybody getting that stuff. I just had one in a lot of He-Man figures that I got last year, so I think it's like over on my shelf. There is actually one of them. Yeah, I think it's the Stone Protector ones. But yeah, they did a lot. Rebecca, though, I'm assuming you did get Golden Girl. Did you?
No, I didn't have any of those. I didn't discover that until I was older. I would have loved.
Do you think you would have got them back then if they were out?
I would have killed for those. Those were right up my alley as a little kid.
All right.
The only knockoff I had was in the 90s. There was a knockoff brand called Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders, or depending on where you are, Princess Starla and the Jewel Riders. But they were pretty much just rip-offs of the Sheer doll. They were like little action dolls.
Oh, okay.
Way more girly than She-Ra or Golden Girl. But yeah, I had those. She-Ra was my favorite one.
Only to go back and get all that stuff worth so much money. But
I like
shit.
I had some of those. Those are always fun.
Don't they still have some like stuff like that they do random GI Joe?
Like, you find them at like Big Lots of Walmart, like these GI Joe knockoffs. But some of those were fun to have as a kid. If they were this in scale with it, I wasn't picky in that regard. If it was in scale with He-Man or in scale with GI Joe, I'm like, that's cool. Just a new character for me to throw in there, like much like Nathan to get their ass kicked or be a prisoner or something or whatever the case was. Like, make them like not so like the Scoop. Of the Scoop sucks. Does anybody know what I'm talking about other than Nathan?
Scoop.
Yeah, I thought we had mentioned this on the podcast while Rebecca was on here, but oh well. We won't go back into that again.
The only thing of recent stuff that I got, I think, was when they redid Transformers in the early 2000s. Was that Robots in Disguise line or something? Or I forgot what the...
Oh, God, they did so many shitty lines.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I remembered being at, I think it was a Family Dollar. Yeah, Family Dollar. And they had a 5-pack of knockoffs of the Constructicons. That was for, I think, the Robots in Disguise line. And the thing is, they were the actual figures, but just under some bootleg name, different color. I still own the set. I never opened it.
Oh,
maybe
wow.
I'll show that next week. Yeah, I'll show it next week. But I thought it was kind of cool. It's like, wow, I have all the Constructicons, even though they're different colors. They're called something else.
Knows that.
Oh, well, it was cool. It caught my eye because I was like, yeah, shut up. So let's see. Grim said, question for Joe. Are you looking for... I don't know if he's joking. I guess we'll find out. But he says, are you looking forward to Skeletor and Evelyn's sex scene in Revelation Part 2? I hope you're joking, Grim. If that actually happens...
He probably isn't.
He might have the inside scoop on that.
I guess we'll find out this
see.
Wednesday. I'm assuming he's joking. But Brian Brummagem said he had a question earlier. Brian, I didn't see it. If you can, could you put it back up again? Andy said, the blue gun thing is a thing. Or the blue gun memory is a thing. He says, there was like a dozen of us who had it. Yeah, he's just messing around. Yeah, because he's senile. But let's see. Rebel Wookie did say it's not about the plot of the comics for him. It's about the style. He said the art set the tone. And no, I mean, the art does set a tone. But if you don't have a story to go with it, it doesn't save it. So that's the thing. If that didn't have that art and the art was shit like some of the comics, like for example,
why can't people just say they like the artwork? Why is it they feel like they have to encompass the shitty story or they when they defend it, they're defending the artwork. They're not saying that no, this was awesome in the story. Like, just say you like the artwork, like you like Alcala's work. Don't
Well, I guess
sit there
that's
and
my
feel like you
example
gotta-
is picture if those stories didn't have Alcala's work and that type of art, and it looked like the Mantenna or Leech mini comics, those would have been disasters. They would have been absolute abominations that nobody would be praising. But let's see.
I
Question:
feel like
Have you watched?
I feel like Andy Yalsey is that kid that was like, Mario can jump over the flagpole, right? He was probably the same one. It's like, you can do this in Tomb Raider where you can get Laura Croft naked. He was probably that kid.
Yeah, I remember
Hell,
hearing
the
that
thing is,
stuff,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be
I
surprised.
remember that too. I
Yeah,
played
I
a lot
actually
of
told-
Tomb Raider back in the day.
I actually told him though. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you did. I said, your dad, since you got to play with those early prototypes when they were Lords of Power, and you got to hold and look at that stuff, and he still has some of those, mini comics with the Lords of Power reference in there instead of Master of the Universe. I was like, maybe you did have something, but it just didn't get released, or you're just nuts. I'd like to tell him he's just nuts. But let's see. Fedmon said, wait, I seen one more. Deep Down did ask, said, have you watched Arachnophobia? Oh yeah, I seen that movie. I love Arachnophobia. That's a movie I
I need
always
to watch it. I need to watch it again. I've only seen pieces of it, but I remember being terrified of the trailer. Even the trailer coming on beforehand on a VHS tape. Even just seeing that as a kid, I had to leave the room.
All them spiders used to freak me out, and especially the battle at the end with that giant one, even though I know they said they had like a remote control type of spider that they used for like parts for the giant one, but that's still all the others. Like, damn, that movie used to creep me out. Now, unlike Rebecca, who probably would have released 12,000 fucking spiders from her hand outside, I would have killed them all. So Rebecca was like, oh, you poor things. Why are they killing them? Why is John Goodman using that acid? That fucker. It's like,
I can eat those. No.
That's
Could
good
you
food you're
imagine?
wasting.
Yeah, look at the protein.
Let's see. Fedmon said, what do you feel was the most corrupt corporation in our 80s TV, movie, fiction? He said examples: Extensive Enterprises, the corporation from RoboCop, Cyberdyne. Oh, he means in the movies, and oh shit, I don't know. That'd probably go more over what you guys know. My brain can't process shit.
I was gonna say, I'm just curious if Joe recognizes any of those.
I do. Oh no, I do. But I mean,
No.
like just thinking about it, I never
Do you
thought.
now?
Yeah. So there. How about Recall? That was.
Recognize Joe.
I recognize Cyberdyne, because that's from Terminator, and RoboCop. I recognize that. So I know some things. I'm not.
I
stupid
like how
about it.
Joe's
Which
defense
one's from
mechanism.
RoboCop?
He doesn't know. I like how.
What did you say?
He said which one?
He saw
What's from RoboCop, Joe?
That was Oh fuck! No wait, give me a second. God, I'm trying to replay the movie in my head. Oh, I gotta replay the movie in my head. So you guys talk while I'm
All right,
playing
well,
the
You
movie.
just
Yeah.
named them off, and then you. What a fraud!
It was just called The Corp. That's it. It was just The Corp. Oh, well, he said it was The Corp. He said from
No, I think he
RoboCop.
was just shortening it for the chat purposes.
Corporation Joe.
Oh, okay, there. All right, see, I guess I knew it.
OCP.
Oh yeah, OCP. Now I remember.
And
Yeah, all right.
You
See,
just said OCP. You just read it off to all three of us and the world live. And I asked
Oh my
you where.
God.
You pull a Texas tornado on all of us
wow, that's horrible that I said it and I didn't even remember saying it, and then I forgot I said it.
because I knew you
Holy
were gonna
shit.
fail.
Well, that's that old man brain. What can
My
we do?
God, that's bad. That's fucking bad. All right.
Well, we still haven't answered the question. Which of those corporations within those movies would be the worst or most corrupt?
Well, it's gonna be hard to beat OCP. I mean, I like.
Yeah, out of those choices,
because Tomax and Zaymont.
Because I don't think Cyberdyne knew they were being corrupt. They were just trying to do something that they thought was going to be advanced
Yeah.
and great and amazing. So, yeah, I really don't place them as corrupt.
Yeah, I can't really consider them like a greedy corporation like the Old Man and RoboCop and Tomax and Zaymont running extensive enterprises. Do you know who that's
Oh,
from,
yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, that Tomax and Zaymont, that's from G.I. Joe. I watched an episode of that.
yeah.
They're twins. Yeah, those are
Yes,
twin brothers.
yes.
It's a two-parter. I got to watch that second part.
Well,
yeah.
what about the Wayland Corporation? That would probably be up there.
That'd be up there.
Yeah.
You're sending all these people on this mission when really in every
Yeah.
movie pretty much like they have
You
that.
have that guy, yeah.
What's the
Or
Wayans
Android.
Corporation? Is that something with Keenan Ivory Wayans? What is that?
Oh, yeah.
Someone
yeah.
Keenan Ivory Wayans.
What is that? You said the
It's from
Wayans
Did
Alien.
you
Corporation?
see Keenan Ivory
Alien.
Wayans?
Wayland. There is no.
Oh,
Wayans
Wayland.
Corporation.
I thought you said Wayans. I was like, Wayans? I was thinking
Yeah, the Wayans. I
Never
mean,
mind.
Instead of going for Bruce Wayne, he immediately goes to it's run by Marlon Wayne.
well, you know, the Wayans are pretty detrimental as a family to film, right? So they gave us
God.
scary movies and
I
all that
love
shit.
it.
So
Yeah,
All
white
right, I
chicks.
love it. Adam Gabbard said,
I bet
"Will
Joe
we
went
do?"
to theaters to see white chicks, didn't you, Joe?
Let me finish.
he
Adam
did.
Gabbard said,
He did.
Oh shit!
I liked it.
All right.
It cracked me up.
Oh,
And
man.
God, man, you're as bad as my sister-in-law.
Terry Crews was cracking me up the whole movie, just going after
man.
Marlon as a white chick. Oh my god,
aw.
that shit had me cracking
So,
up.
what about Big Mama's house? Big Mama's house.
Oh god.
Yes, 1 and 2. Yeah, seen them both.
Oh my god!
I like comedies.
No,
I
my-
like laughing.
My parents were watching Big Mama's House 2, oddly enough, on BET, Joe's favorite channel. And I walked in, and I was like, "Why the fuck are you guys watching Big Mama's House 2?" And then my dad was like, "It's funny. It's really
See,
funny." I'm
your
like,
dad's a good guy.
It's not funny,
Your-
man. It sucks.
your
It's
dad
Martin
is
Lawrence in a
awesome.
Yeah,
fat
Nathan's
suit.
dad does that shit to piss him off, though. Like he knows if you watch a shitty movie, Nathan's gonna get upset about it.
Good movie.
Oh, hey,
God.
my mom already found that picture and texted it to me, so let me save it to my phone and then email it to myself and then put it on the screen. let me send it to all of you guys first. So
All right.
you
Well,
have
while
it.
you do that, real quick, Adam Gabbard. was
Can
wondering
you
if
imagine? Can you imagine Joe's at these movies like fucking opening night? He's got his fucking styrofoam cup water thing and whatever else he snuck into the
Cheeseburger in his pocket.
yeah, all the shit is like,
He's
well,
slapping his leg.
but if you warm it up beforehand, and that's optional, you can keep it. If you take it from the freezer and put it in the fridge overnight, and then before you go to the movies, you put it in your pocket. By the time you drive, you get there, you sit down, you sit through the trailer. It's all
No,
nice and warm
you
because
get
your
it.
body heat warms it up.
You get it right before you go into the theater, and almost every movie theater has a McDonald's usually across the street. You go right there, you get the burgers, and you go right into
He
the
just
theater.
assumes
You have-
how Joe lives as how everybody else lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I just figured everybody had a McDonald's around their movie theater.
There you go.
All right.
Send you
Let's take
that
a-
picture. I'm gonna email it to myself, and then obviously I'll have to like put it on screen, crop it, do all that stuff. But thanks,
All right.
Mom, for sending me that quickly.
It-
That was fast.
Gosh, John hasn't changed. John looks
No, he
exactly-
still looks goofy as shit, doesn't he?
Why didn't you send it to me?
I did. It's in the group chat. It's in the group chat, dumbass. Come on.
Oh.
You pissed off John making fun of open range?
Yeah, that was good,
Aw.
wasn't it? I don't think they.
Oh,
There,
God.
I thought, Mom, I did think there was a picture though of me looking at the camera, but I guess not.
Yeah, because you look like you're smiling, like you're enjoying that figure. You don't look disappointed. You look like a happy
I
kid.
think I was pretending, Joe.
When everyone is staring at you and hoping that you'll enjoy
Yeah,
whatever you're
yeah,
opening,
and
you have-
it's your fucking birthday.
Your friends are laughing. Who's the one with the glasses? Because he's laughing like, look at this stupid fucking
Yeah,
figure.
that's John. He's
John.
yeah, he still looks the same,
That's-
just goofy
That's
looking.
he's probably laughing after your reaction. You're probably like, what the hell? And he's like, "Blah!" And just lost his shit. That actually looks like he just lost it after your reaction or something. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, shit.
I
What
just-
did you
I-
enjoy?
Actually, wait, I can't put it on screen because where I'm capturing this monitor, the email opens up in there. I don't want you guys to see my email. We'll save that for next time. I'll bring that up next time.
Okay. Adam Gabbert was wondering if we'd ever do a New Adventures ranking of figures like we did for these. Oh, sure. Why
Yeah,
not?
I mean,
like I
yeah,
said,
that would be the plan
That'd be
going
cool.
with the tier list. Is I like that Joe incorporated the mini comics because now once the waves get bigger, there's more figures in there. There's also more mini comics too, so that could lead to some hot debates because those mini comics are way better than the 4 that we talked about tonight.
Oh yeah.
So,
And way better than the
Brian-
shows themselves.
oh, sure. No, you're right. And Brian Brummagem was wondering if said, Nathan, is that the 12-inch Stay Puft that NECA made back in 2003 and 4 in back of you? He said if so, that he has the same one. That Stay Puft did. The big one.
That's. I thought that was Mattel, wasn't it? Or is it NECA?
Oh, I have no clue. I don't know. I didn't collect them.
Tyler, you got the same Stay Puft. I thought that. Wait, no, that would be NECA, right? Because the Mattel one was
the one I have. The one I have is the very first one NECA put out.
Yeah, so it is the NECA one because the Mattel one's the one that has the
color.
The color, it gets discolored over time. Yeah, so it's definitely the NECA one. Which I can't imagine what that's going for now that there's a new Ghostbuster movie out. I'm sure everyone's like, oh, God.
Which had the coolest
$500.
At the theater, they had those Stay Puft.
I'm gonna call. Everybody right now.
Yeah.
Works for everything, doesn't it?
I'm gonna come.
What's that?
They have cool promotional
Paul
shit.
Rudd. Well, I mean, hey, man, Paul Rudd.
Sexiest
Go
man
ahead.
alive. I'm gonna come.
Oh, yeah, good for him, you know? He's aged really
Did you see
well.
the promotional
Yeah, he
things
did.
they did?
I like
They did
Paul
some
Rudd.
really
He's
good
cool,
stuff at the theater. They had a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man popcorn bowl and an Ecto-1 car that was a popcorn bowl at the theaters for, I guess, I don't know if it was like the Thursday or Friday thing, but I'm sure they sold out. People were
that's
selling
cool.
for like 4 or 5 times the amount.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're a Ghostbuster fan, I was like, that did look cool as shit, especially the Ecto-1. I was like, I could see people going nuts for that.
Yeah.
But
I've-
Sportimus had a question.
God
Oh,
damn
go
it,
ahead.
Joe. Come on.
Go ahead.
I know, I'm kidding. I was just going to say that,
All
like, all right, hurry up. I want to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife. I do, but now that window's so much smaller, it's like a month now, and you can just rent things. So I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna wait and see.
I'll wait till
I
it's
hope
for
it's
free
good.
on TV or something, so that'd be
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that would be.
Sportimus
smart.
had a
Like
question for
ABC
you.
Sunday night movie for Joe.
They don't do
Could
that
you imagine
anymore.
that shit returning?
It's
They
just
were
like
doing that
Dancing
one
with
time.
the Stars. Look at all these Z-list celebrities.
They brought it back though for a short time, and it was during when I think the pandemic first happened.
Yeah,
they were
like
actually bringing back.
Lost Ark.
Yeah, they were doing some cool shit.
But
Nah.
I missed that though. Even if you could rent or you own the movie, it was like I remember when they played Ghostbusters on the Sunday night. I remember
I
laying
was
in
on
bed,
TV.
but I still watched it, even though
Yeah.
I owned it. It was still like a watching the promos
Ah,
for it and all that
no, not
stuff.
that
It was
one.
always
God
exciting.
You know,
damn
for
it.
some reason, I enjoyed those more.
Ignore that. I
than,
just
like,
sent it again. I gotta
So
save
I
this.
enjoyed it more than
Oh,
like
look
on
at
cable.
this
Like,
picture of John Uppencar.
Yeah. No, I forgot to. I forgot to save this second one. Sorry, Joe.
I'm looking. No, but yeah, I enjoyed the movies when they were on just regular basic TV. The channels, something was just I don't know more
There you go.
appealing than even catching it on, TBS, TNT. I'm trying to find this photo. Oh wait, here we go. Let's see. I'm looking at you.
God,
You're still.
I look really.
still-
I look really goofy in that. But hey, man, props for me to wearing all that Charlotte Hornet shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You still look goofy.
I'll
Sportimus
put
had-
those on
you guys-
screen next week for everybody. Where I got the screen share. I don't want you to see my emails.
All right. What if Playmates
Making
did a
scroll
line?
toys.
What if Playmates did a line like Origins for the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys? Would you buy those? He said the
No.
original toy
The
with
same
Mark.
quality as Origins.
Well, I mean,
Well, I guess he means if they did an origin line for Turtles like they did with Master, so it looks like the original.
Recycled the same original figures multiple times
And-
over the years.
and-
How many more times do they keep wanting you to buy the same figures over and over?
and honestly, like if we think Mattel is cheap right now, like Playmates is like 10 times cheaper than Mattel. So,
Oh,
no.
God,
yeah, pass,
Yeah.
pass on that.
All right, God, man,
All right.
I'm so behind because there were so many. I'm just trying to find questions because, like, as I'm scrolling down, there was a lot of stuff with comments that I made probably 20 minutes ago.
well, here's one from Rebel Wookie. Check who Rebel Wookie I noticed was kind of in disagreement with most of the stuff, how we were ranking things. Checking out the chat for tonight. Technically, everything was great. All of you were in sync with no problems, which, hey, I appreciate you guys letting me know that this is working out way better. Love this channel, but you all and I have different memories. See you next week. And, well, Rebel Wookie was talking about in terms of, I guess, those early mini comics and getting those and getting the all the toys and stuff prior to really watching the Filmation show and kind of having a different mindset going into that.
Well, sure, that's how I was. I mean, I was the same way, and
Yeah.
I flowed with everything, but there were still things that, I didn't flip over from the vintage toys. There's things I didn't flip over in the Filmation cartoon. And it's like I said, our taste, that's how it is with everything. Some
And you
things
got to
like, some
think,
you don't.
Rebel Wookie, that Joe during this time was like
Don't fucking say I'm
23. So I mean, you were probably like 5 or 6. Joe's in his 20s at this point, so he knows what he's talking about.
All right. Well, shit. I think beyond that, that was almost all the questions, but there was tons of comments. I'm glad you were interactive. You guys enjoyed this episode, but I think that's it. Was there anything else before we close it up, Nathan, that you could think of that you wanted to mention or say?
We'll see you guys Tuesday night for part 2 of Revelation with Joe and I breaking it down, and hopefully we got something nice, or at least
And now
somewhat
beyond
positive
that,
to say.
when can they expect the possible first episode of the new podcast?
And now for something different, I'm feeling like that would be a Thursday release, Wednesday or Thursday, and I think we'll do that probably 6 p.m. because it seems like 6 p.m. worked for a lot of people when you were doing your interview last week. Which, hey, let's all give Joe props again for how well he did last week with Emiliana.
Yeah, he did great.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, a lot of stuff to discover and find out. And when he dropped that, I still remember when he dropped the divine armor.
You're just like, oh shit, did you break it? Oh god, please, I hope you didn't break it.
Look at here live.
Yeah, that freaked me out. Then he grabbed his chest because it freaked him out because he said he seen it was bouncing and bouncing. Because I thought it was. I was like, maybe it just landed on some bubble wrap. But thank goodness nothing broke. But yeah, he was a trooper and it was a blast. And yeah, it's going to generate a lot of buzz. I think that toy line is going to do fantastic. So if you guys didn't catch that episode, you can go watch it. It's on our back catalog just from last week. How about that? It's not even far back to go get that. And then check out, of course, Lords of Power everywhere you can through all sorts, social media, and then Formo Toys. You can check those guys out. But all right, well, I think that pretty much was it. There was, like I said, a lot of interaction. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Anybody that is new to this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
Are you trying to tell me my money's not good enough for you? I find that a little hard to swallow, you jockass.
I mean, there's one word in there that totally fucking gives it away, Joe.
Basketball?
No!
Didn't you say a jock?
that was a look of intensity when Nathan nailed that because it froze. No!
Jockass.
Jackass. Jackass. My money's not good for you, jackass. God damn it, I don't know. Rebecca?
Tiny whiners.
And here's another. Ain't even worse.
Tiny whiners.
Oh, God, that's terrible. Rebecca, do you know what it is? Because my brain is just drawn a blank.
My brain's trying to blank too.
I don't think Rebecca's ever watched this movie.
I would bet $10 if Rebecca hasn't seen this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe John saw it, but definitely Rebecca has not seen it.
Well,
Yeah,
we got
John's
20 seconds to
seen
see.
everything. You talk to John.
Come on,
Yes,
Joe. Jockass.
He's awesome.
Jockass.
Jackass. Oh, I'm seeing if the chat's going to get it in 20 seconds. If not, I don't know. Jackass. I don't get it. All right, is it a sport movie?
Yeah,
Well,
Kinda.
I thought it was a sport.
kinda.
I can't do it. And I don't-
Sportimus said, "Great show," even though Nathan's rambling was a bit much tonight.
When did Nathan
bad.
ramble?
Whatever.
Well, nobody could get
Joe
it in the
was,
chat.
Joe was
So,
the rambler.
Yeah.
ain't I always, though? I think I'm always rambling. I don't even know where I'm at half the time.
If anybody
I
has
say
anything
shit
to
as...
complain about, it's got to be Joe.
Even with Tyler, when he said, I actually said the thing from the right corporation of OCP, and then I was like, I don't know. And he was like, Joe, you actually just said it a little while ago. I was like, I don't know. What did I say? I didn't even remember. That's fucking horrible. So what is the movie? Because I can't get it.
No holds barred
No holds barred, man.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
with Hulk Hogan and Sue.
It's been a while.
Zeus.
You don't always remember about that?
Guys, when
I
you
always
guys
remember-
mention stuff and like I don't know it, like in the morning or after the show, John will be like, "You've never seen that movie?" Because he's
Perfect.
seen like
We don't-
everything.
Perfect excuse to go watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good. And,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I
Stan Hansen.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, because I still haven't recorded that Monday Night Raw with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan, and how they were there at the premiere, and it's breaking all sorts of box office records. Like, they're trying to promote the hell out of it. You know, like, this is the biggest movie ever. And of course, it didn't end up doing that, but I still have that on tape. I love Gorilla
the movie
Monsoon.
actually did make money. Like, I think people like to, undercut it because it's a Hulk Hogan film,
but they hyped it. They hyped it. It was just.
They're supposed to.
They totally act like
sure.
I mean, it's
doing Batman '89 numbers.
It's like when Michael Cole and Taz were hyping up how well Scorpion King was doing. I let Tyler know. I'm like, hey man, it's doing really well. And Tyler's dumbass went and saw it in the movie theater.
Yeah, because Nathan went out his way to.
What a mark.
All right, guys. See you next time.
We're not doing that.